After yesterday's announcement of the indictment of former President Donald Trump, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg arrived at work this morning with heavy security. Bragg's office, the Secret Service, and NYPD decided to meet today to coordinate Trump's surrender. Sources familiar with the case say the indictment contains over 30 counts related to business fraud. But some Republicans, including former Vice President Mike Pence and current House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, have voiced opposition to the indictment, labeling it a political prosecution and abuse of power.
Everyone who's out there talking about this being a political case or a witch hunt are going to be sorry when they actually read the substance of what these prosecutors have developed in several criminal charges.
Trump's lawyer is preparing for a voluntary surrender and arraignment on Tuesday. The former president will plead not guilty, and his lawyer has stated he will not accept a plea deal if offered one. The impact of the Trump news is felt on the campaign trail right here in Wisconsin,
as the former president has endorsed one of the candidates in the state's Supreme Court race. Political reporter Will Keneally spoke with him earlier today. Will?
Sorry, Susan, it'll be tough to quantify just how much the Trump news will impact Tuesday's election, especially on the conservative side. It could be a double-edged sword, energizing some in the Republican base, but are those people really voting this April based on a politician who won't be on the Wisconsin ballot for another year? We posed this question to Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly, who says he wants to focus on the issues that got him here.
I have no idea. What I'm looking for, I hope that their care for the institution of the court, for the Constitution, for the liberties that it protects, I hope that motivates them to come out.
Conservative Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly largely waved off questions about former President Trump's indictment, opting instead to stick to the constitutional conservatism that he is known for in the race. His reaction, though, to yesterday's news?
You know, I expect that everyone follows the rule of law, high or low. And that is applicable to everyone in our country. Our entire form of government is based on that. So I think it's just important that everyone in that process be responsible with how they're using that authority.
Kelly spoke at an event in Watertown, kicking off a final push for the candidate ahead of Tuesday's election. And the criticism over Trump's indictment was prevalent.
What happened last night, I don't think there's any doubt. There shouldn't be any doubt in any American's mind. It's not partisan. That not only are they developing kind of a strategy to go after Donald Trump,
but how much will voters actually register the Trump indictment? It's possible that those who are paying attention to the news now were already planning to vote. On the flip side, with Trump not on the ballot, will this even trickle down to the Supreme Court race?
I think Wisconsin voters won't be distracted by what's happening in New York. The election that's happening on April 4th is so enormously consequential for voters on both sides that it has really focused the mind.
So a Protasiewicz campaign spokesperson issued a similar statement, saying that we don't expect voters to be distracted by what is going on in New York.